So far, I've lost 31 pounds this year, and I put on my mini shirt because I have this photo here of me in Disney World, November 2021, in this shirt, where I can promise you I was sucking in and I had tight pants on to help suck it in as well. This is me no sucking in. This shirt's too big, but it's still really comfortable for wearing around the house. Small steps, guys. Small steps in the right direction lead to giant results. I am nowhere near my goal, but I'm happy every day getting there. So that beats sadness and hunger any day of the week. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Amber and I am on a health journey. I am building a lifestyle that I love, that is full of healthy foods, working out, but also things that just taste good. So if you are like me and you want to be a healthier version of yourself that also happens to be a smaller version of yourself, let's be friends. Give this video a thumbs up. We want lifestyle change. We want something that we can do for a very, very long time, years and years and years, where we can be happy while getting to our goals instead of miserable and then giving up and then having to restart over. If that sounds good, subscribe to this channel. So this is a what I eat in a day for weight loss, but this is based on my own needs, my own preferences. This is not saying this is exactly how you should eat every day to lose weight, because this is not how I eat every day to lose weight. I change up how I eat based on what sounds good. What did I just watch on YouTube that I really want to do that recipe? My hunger levels also play a role in it. There are days where I'm not very hungry and there are days where I'm really hungry. And so I let that be my gauge on how I'm eating that day. I hope you do the same. Ignoring your hunger cues leads to binge eating. Binge eating didn't do good for anybody. So let's go ahead and get into this what I eat in a day. Sorry if you can hear the news in the background. All of our prayers go out to all of you in Florida and everyone else that are going to be affected by this hurricane. Know you're in our thoughts and prayers. I'm starting off with coffee with 2 tablespoons of creamer. This is my favorite creamer and I will not give it up. It just won't happen. Good morning. I am feeling a little under the weather. Started last night, so my plan was going to be to go to the gym today, but I'm going to put that on the back burner. Remember, it's not about being obsessed and forcing yourself to go when you don't feel well. It's about consistency, what you do most of the time, not what you do some of the time. So I've gone to the gym consistently at least 3 days a week for 6 weeks. So this will be the first week that I went yesterday. I was out of town before that. I might not go again. I might only go once this week, and that's okay because that's not my normal. But it's more important that I let my body heal and do what it needs to do so that I don't get sick. Another part of that is making sure I'm eating a lot of vegetables and some good protein so my body has the fuel it needs, the vitamins, the minerals, all the things it needs to fight off whatever is trying to take me down. But I'm hungry now and I don't want to cook. I'm gonna make a kale wrap for breakfast, but I'm just not ready for that yet. But in the meantime, I'm gonna have a Built Bar just to get something on my stomach, get some protein, because my wrap will be a little bit low in protein. So protein in my bar. I love Built Bar. I love all the flavors, or at least all the flavors I can remember. I think there's a coconut. It's either the coconut or the coconut almond. I put it in one of my other videos. I don't like it as much because it does have like a protein aftertaste, but like literally out of the box of 12, that was the only one I didn't like. I liked all the other ones. I had that cherry one yesterday, the cherry and dark chocolate. It hits, y'all. It feels like a decadent dessert. So today I'm gonna have the double chocolate. I like to buy the variety pack because, you know, I don't want to be pinned down to choosing a box of 12 of one flavor. I can't commit to that. Anyway, I'm gonna go drink my second cup of coffee and have this Built Bar and hopefully do something with this area. All right. We're almost ready for our actual breakfast. We had that Built Bar to tide us over so that we could shower and, you know, look a little bit presentable. I have my veggies and kale washed. My kale's over here drying. I just wanted to point out, I got this recipe. It's not really a recipe, I'm not following the recipe, but the idea for the recipe is from this book that I've had over 8 years, but I literally can't remember the last time I actually looked at the recipe, but this is my reference guide for this recipe. So if you want to look into that book, I honestly haven't made a ton out of that book. Well, that was a long rant to say we're making a wrap that has hummus, kale, tomatoes, onion, egg. It's gonna be super delicious and nutritious and hearty. So rule number 1 in making this wrap, make it how you like it. That's really the only thing. Making something because it's healthy that you don't enjoy isn't gonna do anything good for you. You're not gonna end up really eating it. You're not gonna feel satisfied. You have to have physical fullness where you're actually not hungry anymore with your stomach, but you also need emotional satisfaction from your food. This often gets left out in the whole dieting world. I don't know why we think that not enjoying ourselves is worth a smaller body, because it ain't. I've been smaller and miserable. It wasn't worth it, which is why you don't stick with it. So make it how you like it. Make it what tastes good. I don't like kale, but cooking it with garlic and oil and the tomatoes, it makes it really good and a way I do like it. I'm going to be using these tortillas. I am on WW. I'm gonna be sharing the calories as well as the points for all this food for my friends who are not on WW and are just on a health journey. These are 1 point for me on WW, which is why I'm going to give them a try. I've seen other people using this brand. I have not used this one because it's not at my normal grocery store. I normally shop at HEB and they don't carry this. So I had to go to Walmart to pick these up. They're 45 calories for 1 tortilla. So we will give these a try. 5 grams of protein. That ain't bad. The recipe doesn't call for it, but I like to add mushrooms to mine. That's add stuff in that you like, take stuff out that you don't. It also requires hummus. People like hummus, people don't like hummus. My sister hates hummus. So if you're one of those people and you don't want hummus, that's okay. You can just not have any smear on your tortilla, or you can substitute it for mashed avocado, or if you're like, you know, British people like to put the beans on the toast. That would probably be really good here. Ooh, I wish I had white beans, because that would be so good, like in the kale as you cook it. We're gonna have to make this again with white beans, y'all. See, this is what I mean. Make it fun, make it enjoyable, make it taste good. I got distracted there. Another good option, if you like Laughing Cow cheese, you could smear that on your tortilla. It would be good as well. I like hummus. I'm gonna use hummus. I'm also going to be using eggs. You can cook your eggs however you like. I typically just scramble mine because I'm lazy and it's easy. That's fine. And also, sometimes I have an issue with the runniness. Like, I like an egg over easy where it's still runny, but then you also, like, mentally are eating it and you're like, that's baby chicken juice soaping up all over my plate. Yeah, I'm gonna scramble these. Another thing I love to do here on this channel is cook once, eat twice or 3 times. Having leftover is a great tool to not have to cook all the freaking time, especially if you're cooking a lot of whole foods that take longer. Just batch prepping it will make the rest of your week go easier. So this will probably be 3 servings worth. Therefore, I'm gonna use 1 tablespoon of oil. That way I can get a teaspoon of oil with each serving. Okay, I'm ready to start prepping my ingredients. I have my oil already heating up in the pan. We want that oil hot and ready when we're ready, so that way we don't have to wait for it to heat up. It's just gonna save us time in the kitchen. We're also gonna cut our vegetables according to how long they cook. My onion is gonna take the longest to cook, so I'm gonna cut it first and go ahead and get it in that pot, and then it's cooking while I'm getting my next ingredient ready. You can use shallot, you can use the whites of a green onion, whatever you have. You don't have to add onion at all. All right, I can hear my oil, it's ready to go. So in this onion will go. Hear that? That's the sound you want when your food hits the hot oil. We're on the clock now. We don't want anything to burn, so now we're gonna quickly just rough chop this mushroom. Leave it out if you don't like mushroom. My big knife is dirty and it makes me sad, so I'm using this little guy. All right, I don't want it super small because I like mushroom. Let me see. Actually, I want to see how much this is because I gotta log all this in my Fitness Pal. All right, so about a cup of mushroom. Check on those onions. We're multitasking here in this kitchen, so. I'm gonna turn my burner down just a little bit. This burner gets super hot, and I'm gonna add some salt. I use kosher salt, so it's less salty than table salt. So I can add a good pinch. If you have table salt, be mindful. Look at the beautiful color on those onions. Let's get our mushrooms in here. And I'm not gonna add any salt to these mushrooms because I want them to caramelize, and that will happen easier if we're not drawing out the water from the mushroom. Onions and mushrooms are different. Onions like salt to caramelize, mushrooms don't. So we're gonna kind of get this pat it down and just leave it there so we get some good color on our mushrooms. And now we cut our tomatoes. If at any time you feel like your other stuff is cooking faster than you're chopping, just pull it off the heat and then put it right back on when you're ready. I'm gonna go stir it. Yes, our mushrooms are beautiful. So I think this is gonna be a cup, but let's see. All right, cup of tomatoes. Clean off your tomato gunk. If you like raw tomatoes, you don't even have to cook them. You can just put them in the wrap raw. I don't like raw tomatoes. All right, so I'm just gonna kind of start the tear down here on the bottom of the stem. Then I'm gonna grab both of those and just use my hand to kind of clean it off like that. And the bitter part of the stem comes out. If you like the stem, you can have it, but it's super bitter, and kale is too bitter for me. Honestly, I don't really like kale. I only like it this way. So for me, stem comes out. Now we choppy chop. Cut it as little, like as finely or as largely as you'd like. See, I'm gonna say that's 3 cups of kale. Go at it. More salt. I'm gonna have 2 eggs. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt and a lot of pepper. Take a fork and feed it, feed it. All right, these are gonna chill. Oh, the pepper, it's about to get me. Whew. Try to avoid sneezing on your eggs. That's a good tip. The last 30 seconds or so of my kale cooking, I wanna add some garlic. So I'm gonna get that ready as well. Okay, 15 years later, when you finally get that sucker peeled, I normally use my garlic press, but if you can't see a theme, that's also dirty because I didn't feel good last night and I didn't start my dishwasher. So now we reap the consequences of our actions. It's terrible. If you really want these really fine, you can add a little bit of salt to it and then keep going. don't know exactly what the salt does and why this works, but I've seen chefs do it, and it works, my friends. Look how tiny those are. I'm hired. All right. Normally pick up with the back of your knife. I'm being an idiot and doing it this way. All right, let's go check on our veg. Smells good. All right, guys, I walked away a little too long, so I added some water to help kind of scrape off some of those bits on the bottom. So just make sure you're stirring it. Don't get distracted by your garlic like me. I dropped kale all over the floor, and my dog thought he was gonna like escape with some, and he literally spit it out underneath the table. So even dogs don't really like kale, guys. Serves him right, but kind of steal my food. Oh, that garlic smells so good. All right, this is gonna cook for about 45 seconds while I clean up my kale. All right, I'm going to put this on a plate. You can do up to this point in advance. So say if you want to do this the night before or on the weekend, and then just portion this out. I actually think this is going to be, it's going to be 4 servings for me. So just put it all in a container, and then each morning grab however much you want, put it in the skillet to rewarm it, and then add your eggs straight to your mixture. And that's a great way to pre-cook this breakfast. Then all you're really doing is scrambling eggs and adding hummus to toast, or hummus to a tortilla. All right, be right back. Okay, I had to rinse out my pan because mistakes were made. I let it cook too much without stirring. You already know, I already told you. I'm just gonna warm up my tortilla. This is just a personal preference. You don't have to do this. My pan isn't super hot since I washed it out, and I put it on low because this burner just gets honestly too hot. I should probably use the other burner. All right, just warmed it to the touch. Gonna take it off and put it on my cutting board. And now these are gonna cook super fast. Normally I'd use a smaller pan for 2 eggs, but I don't want to dirty more. We already made a mess of things, so I'm gonna save time where I can. Okay, this is gonna go off the heat while I spread my hummus on my tortilla. And this is just gonna finish cooking just like that. And it'll be waiting for me when I'm ready. All right, got my hummus here. I'm gonna use 1 tablespoon. I'm just gonna use the back of my spoon to smear. All right, we have our delicious kale. And now our egg. Yum. But wait, there's more. I'm also going to add an apple. I'm basically a toddler and like mine sliced. These are those Rav apples, Rave. I don't know why I said Rav. Rave apples from New Zealand. These have been our favorite. They're sweet, they're not bitter. They are glorious. I like to push them over because I like to sprinkle cinnamon on them. So we've got protein, we've got fiber, we've got veggies, we've got delicious natural sugars here. We are winning at life with this breakfast. This could be lunch, this could be dinner. And I like an obscene amount of cinnamon, so don't judge me. So there is our breakfast. I will put the stats on the screen for you. All right, you know you gotta eat it when you cook it on camera. I can feel it. It's a superfood. It's just healing my body from within. I sure hope. Kind of feel like I have unrealistic expectations for kale. Like when I eat it, it should probably like solve all my problems. Because it's a superfood. But really, do not skip on that garlic. If you love garlic, add even more than I add. The garlic really, really helps take away from that kale flavor if you don't like kale like me. This is delicious. It's hearty. This is the only way I'll eat kale. Did you know cinnamon can help regulate blood sugars? I have PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. Google it. I'm not going to go into it here. But with that, I did have insulin resistance in the past. I haven't been tested for several years, so I'm not sure if I still have it or not. But I always like to make sure I'm regulating my blood sugar. Even if you don't have any kind of insulin resistant problem, regulating your blood sugar will help in general with, you know, energy and not binging later. So it's so good. No one's hangry here. No one's sad. No one didn't have enough to eat. We're all in happy and good moods. I'm really feeling it. I don't know if you can tell, I really don't feel good. So I'm gonna take a break and I'll see you when I eat again. It's a couple hours later and I'm kind of at that point where I know I need to eat, but I don't want to cook or do anything. So we're gonna have something that's really quick. This in the microwave, I'm gonna have half of the bag. So I have 2 of these sausage links here. I'm gonna have one today, but since this is gonna make 2 servings, I'm gonna go ahead and cook it and then add it to this for tomorrow. This is 2 points for this kind of sausage. It's frozen. I had let this sit out overnight in my refrigerator. Here are the macros on this. It's okay. I'm not gonna buy it again, but I already bought it, so I'm not gonna waste it, and it's convenient for these kind of times where I don't want to do anything. And then I'm gonna add a cup of this. I'm actually gonna cook 2 cups again, so I can add it to my leftovers for tomorrow's lunch. So I'll get a point back for this. This is 2 points, and I'm gonna have 6 points worth of this. I will tell you calories once I get it all put together. There we have it. It took 13 minutes. I let the mixture, my vegetables, cook for 10 minutes in the air fryer at 390, and then I added my sausage for another 3 or 4 minutes, and then the pasta only cooked for 4 minutes in the microwave. I'm also gonna have this vitamin C. I don't know, there's no packaging to say calories or anything like that. Oh yeah, 30 calories. I'm not even gonna track it. I'm not gonna track that at all. So I'm just gonna consider it a vitamin. This raspberry one, if you have an HEB, is good, just in case you're wondering. I don't eat these packaged, like frozen pastas almost ever. I think I've only had the marinara one once or twice. And I've had this one in there for months that I wanted to try and I just never did. Honestly, I just kind of forget that it's in there. But it's so helpful on days like today where you're short on time or you're short on energy, and it gets me 2 lunches, and I'm down with that. Making it realistic can make eating healthy go from feeling like a burden in these moments to like a pleasure, because you know you have nutrients that you need for your body. I am waiting on the side of the road to have my daughter's school get out so I can grab her. But I thought this would be a good time to mention I am doing a 1K Q&A. This is where we're just celebrating hitting 1,000 subscribers. So thank you so much for making that happen. But just in case you didn't know, I am going to be answering questions. So if you have any kind of questions, so far I've gotten things about like working out, a specific tutorial for the WW app, like my current weight, all these kind of things. So we've got some good questions already come in, but just in case there was something specific you wanted to know, whether it's weight loss related, Weight Watchers related, something personal, just ask that in the comments below and I will answer that. I'm filming it on Monday, so and it will go live on Wednesday. So you have today, Saturday, and tomorrow, Sunday, to ask your questions if you have any. If you don't, that's cool too. It is dinner time. I was originally planning on making the egg roll in a bowl, but I'm not feeling it. Just not feeling it. So what I really want is soup. So I have accumulated some random veggies and stuff that I already have on hand. And I'm just gonna turn it into a veggie soup with some chicken because that sounds so amazing right now. Let me show you what we have. This is one of those things that literally throw some stuff in a pot with some chicken broth and you have soup. It's that easy. Here are some, ignore my tripod in there. Here are some things I have that we're gonna add. We're going to brown the carrots and the onion before making the broth stuff because I like those to have like a really rich, deep flavor. I'll also probably brown the tomatoes here and some garlic. Then we're just gonna throw in the pot beans that I'm gonna rinse, corn, potatoes, some of these frozen vegetables that I had earlier, some thyme and rosemary, and I have a chicken breast that I'm gonna throw in as well. Then I'm gonna just cook it in the Instant Pot and then shred my chicken, add it back in and taste it, see where we're at. So let's get ready for these veggies. I have 1 tablespoon of olive oil heating up on the saute function of my Instant Pot. If you're looking to get a new slow cooker, I would suggest getting one that's also an Instant Pot because my slow cooker died and I have been using my Instant Pot as a slow cooker and it's been working out great. So you get a 2-in-1 kind of function. So when you want to cook something quickly, you have the option. When you want to cook something slowly, you have that option. All right, I'm doing the onion first because I can cut it quicker than my carrots. My big knife is cleaned and ready to go, which is very exciting. Go throw these in the pot. Just like this morning, I added a little bit of salt. I'm going easy on the salt because I am going to use a powdered bouillon, which is going to be pretty salty. So just enough to get the juices released, but not enough to make it salty at all. These have been washed and dried. I'm gonna cut them pretty small. I don't know what I was thinking there. I don't know why I cut it so weirdly. I normally cut it in half. I'm telling you, my brain is not working. Cut it in half, and not these oblong shapes. Is sinus brain a thing? Like sinuses making your head not work? I just feel in a fog. This soup is gonna be so nice. All right, I'm gonna go take out those onions and add my carrots. We're not looking to cook everything through, we just want color on it. I added another tablespoon of oil to my pan for these carrots. And don't move them around. Like let them sit there for a few minutes and then move them. If you leave your potatoes out in the air, they'll oxidize and they'll just turn brown. There's nothing really wrong with them, but if you just want to keep that from happening, submerge them in water. I have 2 cups of water in here. I'm trying to keep track of how much water I'm using, just so I know for bouillon purposes. I needed thyme and rosemary for another recipe, so why not go ahead and use them? I won't use them all for the other recipe, so sounds like a great opportunity to get some good flavor in my soup. Oh, smells good. Do one big one. Rosemary can be a bit much, so. And then I think my favorite fresh herb is thyme. Oh, so good. Do like that much. Now I need garlic. Let's check these carrots. Yeah, that browning is what you want. Oh, you came in stage, guys. Got a terrible angle. So these brown pieces that I keep hiding, where do they go? Okay, now I'm going to strain those black beans, and I'm going to put you over by the pot so you can see where all the magic's happening. With my brain fog, something happened with the footage, and I don't have me adding the rest of my stuff back in. I added garlic right here and sauteed it for a minute or so, and then I added back in my onion and 4 cups of water plus the water that was in those potatoes, so that's 6 cups. You want enough to cover everything, as well as 1.5 cups of the Normandy blend, 1 cup of corn, my rinsed beans, 1 chicken breast, a teaspoon of paprika, a tablespoon of chicken bouillon, and then I put the lid on, and then now we're catching back up where I almost forgot to put in my herbs. And I almost forgot. Guys. Now that we've stirred it, I'm gonna add my rosemary and thyme on top, and I'm gonna add a couple bay leaves. I'm adding them on top because I'm gonna be able to pull all this off when I open it. Don't have to go like searching for all of it. Now with the rosemary and thyme, most likely the leaves will just kind of fall off, and if they do, that's fine, and if they don't, I'll just pull the whole thing out when we're done. All these suckers are tiny and like broken up. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Count your bay leaves so you know how much to pull out when you're done, because you cannot eat these suckers. Now we're gonna seal it. All right, you see, all right. Just do that and let it do all the hard work for us. This is taking forever. All right, let's scoop these things out. It smells really good. I'm gonna try. Oh, yeah, potatoes nice and. All right, I'm gonna shred this chicken and then put it back in. That chicken shredded so easily. I'm gonna taste it again, especially if you're not feeling well. That's just steam, it's not dirty. Make sure you grab a new spoon, because you don't want to put your spoon that you have saliva on back in there, especially if you're sick. I'm gonna add more bouillon. This will add a little bit more chickeny flavor and salt at the same time. That was 1.5 teaspoons. If you like red pepper flake, that would be a good time to add it. My daughter's gonna eat this, or at least I'm hoping. So I'm not gonna add any. All right. Now I'm going to go off camera and I'm actually gonna ladle out to see how many servings this is. I'm assuming it's 5, but we're gonna find out. So I'll be right back. I am air frying some garlic toast on 380 for about 9 minutes while my husband is finishing up mowing. This was 5 servings. If your serving is 1.5 cups, which is 3 ladles for me, because my ladle is a 1/2 cup ladle. So It's a big bowl of soup for 300 calories and 3 points. I'm gonna add 5 points for my toast. It's worth it to me because this is super low in calories. I'm gonna have a snack here in a little bit, but we're gonna enjoy this first. There it is. I had our bowls individually scooped out. I added red pepper flakes to mine and my husband's bowls. Good call. If you can handle any kind of spice, I recommend adding red pepper flake to your bowl. It's time for dessert, so we're gonna make a protein smoothie. I just got this fruity cereal Alani Nu protein powder that I really wanted to try. So you see me trying it with 1 cup of almond milk first before making my smoothie, just because I wanted to see what it tastes like. I figured my husband's gonna like it, so I went ahead and decided to make a double batch. That's 2 cups of almond milk, 1 banana, 1 cup of blueberries, 1 cup of frozen cherries, and 2 scoops of the protein powder, and ended up making 3 protein smoothies that were this size. But my daughter didn't like it, and my husband is obsessed with it. So he ended up having 2, and I had 1. All right, guys, this is gonna finish out our night. Yum. I hope you enjoyed this, what I eat in a day. And remember, just because you feel like crap doesn't mean you have to eat like crap. All right, see you Wednesday. Cheers.